Greetings everybody, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles. So recently I went down the road to another vinyl fair here. In fact, I had no intention of going to this one because this was a little low, but temptation, you're a collector, you want to see what there is, and it is just down the road. So those are all my excuses. But I was glad I went down there, saw a bunch of people that I know. You always meet great friends at these vinyl fairs. And I managed to find a few records. Not that many, 4 in fact. But some were really interesting. And the one I had been after for some time. So let's get stuck into them, shall we? And the one that I mentioned that I have been after for some time is the first of 2 Dutch bands that I found. I have got 3 others by this band. And the band in question is the band Focus. And this is their 3rd album. Can you see me? It's called Focus 3, which, it's pretty obvious. It's their 3rd album. It's a double album, and I got this for a pretty good price. I think this was $100. I mean, you can see the cover's got a few marks on it and what have you, but you don't play the cover, you play the record, and the records look all right. And there's the inside, there's the band. Thijs van Leer there, and I'll tell you who else is in the band just now. And there's the songs. Incredible album. I was listening to this, was it last night or the night before? Anyway, a lot of jazz influences. And this was a band that were very hard to pin down exactly what their style was. Yes, there was progressive rock in their music, a lot of jazz, like I just mentioned. In fact, some of their more recent albums have been totally jazzy. The prog thing has kind of been pushed to one side. And there's also this weirdness about this band. They had their very own, I can't really say style, but their own signature, if you like. And that was largely, I think, down to Thijs van Leer and Jan Ackerman, the guitarist. Those are the 2 main guys in the band. They just did things in a different way. The vocals from Thijs van Leer were normal vocals, if you like. You don't actually get words. It's almost like just sounds. It's almost like in jazz, you get scat singing. It's similar to that in a way, but it just makes it all the more interesting. Even if you listen to their big hit, Hocus Pocus, with all that yodeling going on, you can see what I'm talking about. And there's a bit of this on this album, bit of that on this album, I should say, on the Polydor label. This was when it first went on sale in South Africa for $7.99, R8, for a double album. But I guess in those days it was a lot of money. So who was in the band? Bert Reiter. He was the gentleman, just get this right. Bert Reiter was on bass guitar, Thijs van Leer on vocals, organ, piano, alto, flute, piccolo, and harpsichord. So he could pretty much do everything except the kitchen sink. Jan Ackerman, incredible guitarist. When people talk about top 10 guitarists or whatever, you get the usual suspects. Michael Schenker, you can get Steve Vai, you get Joe Satriani, you get Jimi Hendrix, you get Richie Blackmore. This man is up there with him, I reckon. Bert Reiter I mentioned on bass, and Pierre van der Linden on drums. All very great Dutch names. Excellent band, so tight these guys, especially the rhythm section. Rhythm section, yes. Excuse me. And the guitar work, and of course the keyboards of Thijs van Leer. Some nice Hammond work on this album. Side 1 is Round Goes the Gossip, Love Remembered, Sylvia, which was a big hit off this album for them. It's an instrumental piece, and it's got this sort of recurring theme to it, which like a hook, which kind of sticks in your brain. Carnival Fugue, and then you get side 2, Focus 3, another hit for them, Answers, Questions, Questions, Answers, and then side 3, Anonymous Part 1, and that's this incredible piece. It's about 20 minutes long, I think. And they all stretch, and there's an incredible bass solo in there as well, in the middle of the track, that Bert Reiter pulls off, and I think he hadn't been with the band prior to this album. So that's Anonymous 2. Then you get Anonymous 2, the conclusion on side 4, which is just a little bit of making the end of that track. Then you get Elspeth of Nottingham, which has got almost like a pastoral feel to it, a lot of acoustic guitar, and House of the King. So I'm really chuffed I got this. I'll show you the guys again. There they are. It's Taste van Leer. And on the other side, there was a guy with a beard and the moustache. Well, they all have beard and moustache. That's Jan Ackerman, I think, and then the two bassist and drummer in the middle. So yeah, chuffed I got that. And I think there was a different cover to this as well. There was a shot of all four guys in an American release, if I'm saying that correctly, but this is the one I only ever saw, really. Finally got myself a copy. The other Dutch band that I got is the one I have got quite a few albums of, Golden Earring, and the album Long Blonde Animal. And this album actually went under two titles, the other title being Prisoner of the Night, which is actually one of the tracks on here, and I think this is the American release. For some reason they called it Long Blonde Animal, but anyway, that's also one of the tracks on here. There's the guys at the back sitting in what looks like a bus or something, or a train. So it's the usual guys on here. George Kooijmans on guitar, Barry Hay on vocals, Caesar Zadewijk on drums. Who else was here? Trying to think of the bassist's name. It's not going to come to me. Gerritsen, Tennis Gerritsen. So it's the four guys that made up Golden Earring who were always in the lineup, or pretty much their whole career. There were a few others who were added. I think there's a guest tenor saxist on here, Tony Britnell, Jan Stips on synthesizer. But yeah, apart from that, this is the 1980 release. It's a little different to my favorite era of Golden Earring, which is the sort of late 60s, early 70s, when they were more of a prog band. I guess it was for the times. This was a bit more commercial, I guess you'd say. I don't really know these songs very well. I've only played this once since I've got it. Long Blonde Animal, Me for an Answer, Nay for an Answer, My Town, Prisoner of the Night, which is the other title the album has, and I Don't Want to Be Nobody Else. It's not heavy, it's, I hate saying the word, but it's commercial rock. There are some really nice guitar pieces from George Kooijmans, another guy who should be right up there when you're talking about top guitarists. Side 2, Cut Him Down to Size, Will and Mercy, Coming Out of Space and Going Crazy Again. What I will say is the production on this is a bit thin. But you know how I picked this up for $20 and I'm a collector, so I've got one that I didn't have. And I'm sure after a few more listens I might get into it a bit more. So there we go. Golden Earrings, Long Blonde Animal, stroke Prisoner of the Night. That's the other Dutch band I got. Then lastly, I got this one that I've been after for some time, because I have all the other early albums, Regatta de Blanc and Zenyatta Mondata, and yes, of course, I'm talking about the Police and their debut. Sting, Stuart Copeland, and of course that was Andy Summers on guitar. Recently I found out Andy Summers did an album with Robert Fripp of all people. So see if I can give that a listen. That should be interesting. So yeah, and this had a big impact. I mean, these guys were, after this album, they were just going to go up. And I remember going to the local discos here with my pencil thin tie on, and everybody used to do the pogo dance, that stupid thing where you jump up and down and see how high you can go. We were young. What did we know? A lot of hits on here. So Lonely, Next to You, Roxanne, obviously that was their first really big hit. Hole in My Life, and that really strange sort of almost jazzy piece called Peanuts, with Sting getting this high vocal. Interesting song, that almost like a novelty kind of song. Side 2, Can't Stand Losing You, Truth Hits Everybody, Born in the 50s, another deep track on here that I really enjoy. Interesting lyrics. Be My Girl, stroke Sally, and Masoko Tanga, which is also kind of like different rhythms to that track. Stuart Copeland is a really great drummer, and you could see how much he influenced this band as well as Sting. And of course Andy Summers, not a shredder by any means, but what he did bring to the band was the right notes at the right time, if you know what I mean. He played in the spaces kind of thing, and that's what I always liked about him. He wasn't a flashy kind of guitarist, but you didn't need that within the Police. And yeah, so I finally got that first album of the Police. And then lastly, I got a freebie from my very good friend Peter de Wit's, also one of the traders there. And he said to me, look, I've got this album, but I can't sell it. So I said, well, he said he can't sell it because it's a double album, double live album. The second record is warped. And, you can't say it like that. So he said, would you like it? So I said, okay, well, what is it? The Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous. I mean, come on. So there's nothing wrong with the first album. The second one is a bit warped, and I tried it out in my system here, and there's no ways I can play it. I mean, this needle is just doing this. So if anybody in the comments down below has got any suggestions for unwarping a warped record, I have gone online, but there's some dodgy stuff, putting it in ovens and God knows what all. So if you know of a way of, because it is quite badly warped. So if I can't, I can't. I mean, I've got it on CD. And I can always just play the first half of this album, which is an absolute classic. So I thought, yes, give it to me, I'll have it. I mean, there's a great shot of Phil in it, his bass guitar, that scratch plate of his that used to shine when the lights hit it. And there's all the songs at the back. And what I like about this vinyl as well is you've got all those great live shots in the middle. Absolutely iconic. Brian Robertson on guitar, Scott Gorham on guitar, Brian Downey on drums, and of course the late great Phil Lynott. So I said, thank you very much, Peter. I shall take that and add it to the collection. Even though I can't play the second album, it doesn't matter. I have it. It's in my greasy paws. So that was that. That was my visit to the local vinyl fair. There's another one happening in Cape Town on the 3rd of May, but I don't think I'm going to that. In fact, I know I'm not going to that. So I'll wait for it to roll around you down the road again. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, any comments, especially about the unwarping of warped records, let me know if you have any ideas. And yeah, any comments other than that, it'd be great to hear from you. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Just put my false teeth back in. And yeah, just take it easy. And I'll catch you guys again soon. Bye-bye.